that really quickly. September 3rd, Sunday. For all you traders out there, happy pipping. The market opens again today at 4 o'clock Eastern, no, 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. For those altcoin traders, those cryptocurrency traders, it is a 24-hour endeavor, you know that. But Clif High put out a video a little bit ago saying that liteCoin was going to go over $100. As you can see down here, I have the liteCoin dollar daily chart up, and it had gotten to 95. The highest it has been since its opening was 110, somewhere up in there. You can check this chart for accuracy, this candle, this wick for accuracy later on. I'm not really concerned about the accuracy of how high it's been. We're looking at where it's going. This wick is very telling, though. I want you guys to look at this wick as sort of a blind man's cane, showing you where in this situation, where the top of the market is. So I do, as a technical analyst, believe that liteCoin has the potential to get back to the top of this wick, consolidate for a moment in this area, and then choose a direction, whether it be long or short. That we will see. Let's go over here. If you've never been to this site, this is TradingView. It's just one of my favorite charting programs. It offers a lot more than that as well. But I do see it going here after it consolidates. Again, this is liteCoin dollar. Now, if you look, we found the market has spoken at this area and has said that this is going to serve as some structure, some support and resistance later on. So we want to keep these as a roadmap in our mind for when price reaches 86.98 again. We can expect either a breakthrough or a turnaround. A breakthrough candle sort of looks like this one. However, it should breach the structure. Typically, you don't see price approach the structure and then just skip over and start above what would be support. Usually it takes a burst, a big thrust to shoot through. So we'll keep that in mind. As you can see, it went to roughly 87.36, backed off, and then now it came up and marching itself back up. Typically, you'll see it hit structure or a price where the market says, you know what, this is as high as it's going to go. We are selling at this point. Hence, the two selling candles. But let's focus on liteCoin, bitCoin. I'm going to increase this chart. It's actually, let me go back to here. If you go and you deal with the dollar liteCoin, the dollar is the global currency. It is the benchmark. It's what everyone seems to rely on and go to. I personally, I'm almost to the point where I don't want to trade any currencies on the Forex exchange. I don't even want to trade the dollar because it's just manipulated so heavily. However, as you can see with the liteCoin dollar, price opened here, shot up in an impulse. We just had some very excited people and it shot back down. And it's been consolidating around that price and actually it shoots up. The dollar, of course, as you know, as I put in the note here, Republicans favor a weak dollar. President Trump took office in January 20th, and subsequently that dollar has declined since. I published a chart on that matter on July 10th, a little late in the game, but I just wanted to prove the point, not prove my prediction. As you can see, when President Obama took office, when President Bush was in office, the dollar had a steady decline. As Obama approached, it started the Democrats love a strong dollar. So the market knows that Democrats like a strong dollar. So the early adopters start moving in. Well, it had some fluctuation. Bam, reached its high for a long time. This was an 8-year campaign. Here we are. Donald Trump takes office. The market, remember, if it hits you, you're too late. So you've got to be early. We'd rather anticipate than participate. Here we have the dollar reaching its high for the Obama term. President Trump takes office January 20th, and we have seen a big, big sell-off. Let's see what bring this chart current. As you can see, it went farther. So the dollar went from roughly 104 on the DXY index, the dollar index, 104 down to 92. That is a lot of pips if you simply just shorted the dollar. But we have to keep that base knowledge on the forefront while we're trading. So we go here to Clif High, who has I admire, strive to have his wisdom, his knowledge. My partner, Frank Williams, introduced me to Clif High. I tend to get a lot of the fringe ideas from Frank. He's always out there and searching, trying to bridge this incredible wealth gap. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the greatest wealth transformation in history, wealth transfer, I should say, in history. And a lot of it has already occurred. But let's see if Clif High, and I need to offer another disclaimer. I am not a professional. I am not selling services. This is strictly my opinion. Strictly my opinion. And I hope it makes some sense in the big scheme of things. And I am pretty good at trading currencies. I'm pretty good at reading charts. So I suspect this will be good here. I am only offering my opinion. Do not follow my lead. Do your own research and your own back testing to make sure that you want to take this trade. So liteCoin, bitCoin, as you can see, it just gapped up. This is a 15-minute chart, which I do not trade. I was just looking at it to see if it was moving. It looked a little stagnant the other day. So I dropped down to the 15-minute chart to see if I would see any candle movement going. As you can see, let me go to the daily chart. That's where I drew that structure. I came in, and this trend line, actually, let me start over so you can see what happens here. I need a trend line. It reached its peak on day one. I'm not certain as a trader how important that day one spike is, but I'm going to use that as a start for my trend line. And as you can see, price respected that trend line. It did go up on a blip and came back down, and it really honored that trend line. And as I said before, it usually takes a burst through to break the trend line, and consequently it bursted right back through. And here we go. It finally breached that trend line, and it has been up since then. A level of concern that I would look at is right here, where structure has created itself in the market that says we will go up to this price, but we do not think the value against the Bitcoin is any more than 0.02 Bitcoins. As you can see, again, it broke structure there. I anticipate, remember, we want to anticipate, not participate, that structure will meander up in this area for a little while and eventually approach this mark again. Now, I do believe that would bring it over $100. I do have to do my my liteCoin survey to see where it is in conjunction with the Bitcoin as far as the price that is concerned. But as Bitcoin goes up to $5,000 and liteCoin is 0.2% of a Bitcoin, that's well over $100. Let me double check the math on that. That would bring it there. So it has the potential to get back to this price, which is 0.0213 Bitcoins for every litecoin. I would wait to see a candle push through. Let me move this structure down a bit so you can see that. Let's pretend that this was the structure. So you can see price entered that structure, that consolidation phase, and busted through. Now it's rested on top. That is what we're going to look for once we get out of this consolidation phase in order to take this trade to this price. Once it gets to this price, market should reject it as it did here. my experience has shown me that it will approach the price or the structure more than once. This was a double top, which you'll see this, and some may not call it a double top. I call it a double top. What you will see here is that price hit this market here, hit this market here, then it retreated. If you're going to take this trade, wait for it to approach this price, pull back. If you're aggressive, I would buy it in this range and take it to the promised land. If you're conservative, wait for the second attempt. It will do it. Again, this is my opinion. I am not 100% certain, but I believe it will take one attempt there. And then I believe it will also make a second attempt somewhere, if I could get this to act right, somewhere in this area. And at that point, you would look for the price to either break structure high, and you take that buy trade if you're very conservative. Wait for it to get over that price. And if you're in the event that it does not get over that price and the market retreats, then I would sell from this price, expecting it to get somewhere back into this area of consolidation. That is my take on liteCoin, bitCoin. I do see Clif High's prophecy or prediction as being pretty strong. This is Sean Dixon from Talking ICOs. We're going to analyze a little bit of these coins, or a lot of these coins, as well as discuss what new ICOs are coming out and what support they may have with their quote unquote sister or brother coins that support their industry purpose. And we'll see you guys in the future. Frank is on another vacation, enjoying himself and winning at life. We plan to be doing an awful lot of that, or continue doing an awful lot of that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I do see liteCoin going over $100 as Clif High said earlier. $100. Again, this is just my opinion. Please use your own due diligence and backtest your own strategies. But this is a simple market analysis, technical analysis, respecting this trend line. As you can see, it has breached it once again. In summary, it is consolidating again in this area. Once it finishes there, it should approach the structure again and bring liteCoin over $100. Thank you. We'll see you guys on the next cryptocurrency analysis and Talking ICO.